Hello, hello. I am so excited that you've decided to stop by. Welcome back. This is Just Jen, and I am Jen. Today is our edition of Motivational Munchies, and I'm going to show you how to make cheesecake filled strawberry skewers. Do not panic. Do not freak out. It is not that complicated. When I watch these cooking shows, I see people with expensive appliances. I see people with cleaning staff and all that. I promise you I have neither one. So I know the angle of the camera is a little weird right now, but I want you to see what I'm doing along as well what I'm doing with my hands. So when I consider a recipe, there are a few things that I consider. I consider, can I use the ingredients in other recipes? Vanilla can be very expensive, $8 or $12 for a little bottle, so I'm like, how many other things can I use this in? And as far as measuring devices, if you do not have a tablespoon and something requires for a baking or a cooking of 2 tablespoons, if you have a child's measuring cup from like the little medicine like Tylenol or whatever, if 15 milliliters in the children's cup of medicine is equivalent to 2 tablespoons of liquid. So that's something to know. I do not have a bunch of fancy equipment. I don't have all of that, but you can still make incredible recipes. You can still make these things, and you don't have to go out and buy a fancy food processor or a special skillet or anything like that. It doesn't cost you a lot. There's not a lot of cleanup to this recipe, and I just think it's exciting. So let's get started. What we need for this recipe is we need 1 block of cream cheese. So we're going to go ahead and open that. This is soft, and I kind of smushed it around a little bit. So, and half the time when you see people with those cooking shows, you'll see there's nobody around. Right now I just happened to get lucky and my daughter is asleep and the boys are at school. But usually, when we're trying to make dinner and trying to make real life things, like, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on usually here. The kids are running around. They want to know when dinner is done, and they want to know, when are we eating? When are we eating? Another thing that I've learned to do while I'm cooking is have a garbage pile. Have something to where you don't have to keep running back and forth to the garbage. I say that while I don't have anything to wipe my hands on. Okay, so what we're going to do first is, let me tell you everything we need for this recipe. We need 1 block of cream cheese, any kind will do. We need 1 tub of whipped cream, frozen, and then let it set out for a little bit when you start getting everything out. We need large strawberries, which the large ones makes it easier to cut out the inside. You need a little baggie, and you're going to crush them up. If you don't have a roller, you can take a full jar of pickles and crush them up as well. So, I've already done some to show you what they're going to look like inside, but it's great if you have those little scoopy things to get out, but otherwise, all you do is just take a serrated edged knife, cut them out, and then just like this, cut out the inside, just like this, and then cut it around. If you cut the outside of the strawberry, it's not okay. Take the inside of that and put it in a separate bowl. We're going to be using that for something else. So scoop out as much as you want and then set it to the side. The bigger strawberry, the better. So you just cut out the white. Just like this. It's not very difficult. If you have one of those scoop things, that's great. Like them little melon ballers or whatever. That's great. But if not, then you can still make this. You just take a knife and scoop out the inside and put it in a little bowl. Okay, set that to the side. Now, like I said, you need cream cheese. And then you're going to take, if you don't have a regular measuring cup, like with the spoons, I had all of the measurements, but my children, I guess, use them for shields for their superheroes or something. I don't know. So 15 milliliters in a the little medicine cup for children's Tylenol or ibuprofen, whatever, is 2 tablespoons of liquid. So you fill that up to about 15 milliliters. So that's 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Pour that on the cream cheese. Then what you're going to do is you're going to break up the Cool Whip that's frozen inside. Scoop it onto the cream cheese, just like that. Get it all out. Set that to the side. Now, you're going to take your fork and just like I'm doing, just mash. Whip my mixer malfunctioned. So that would be the easier way to do this. So I am doing this by hand, which makes it a little bit harder, but it can get done. So all you do is you take your fork, the bottom of your fork, and you push the whipped cream into the cream cheese like this. You make sure that all the vanilla and everything gets mixed together. Scrape the bottom, mash it up really well, just like this. And I'm doing this in real time, not TV time, like they do on those cooking shows where they don't show you exactly how long it takes to make. I wanted you to see exactly how long that it takes to make this recipe so that you can try to make it. Maybe you can pre-make some of these after the kids go to bed or when you have some free time, and then you can just keep them out. It's very good, and they're kind of pretty, I think, too. The presentation is kind of neat because they're on skewers, and they look more complicated than they are to make. So you whip them up. Like I said, this would be much quicker if I had a mixer, but I am doing it by hand. Mix them up. Usually when my husband is home, I have him do this part of it, of whipping something, since my mixer's been broken, and I always forget when I go back out to get one. Sometimes things appear to be more complicated than they are when we want to try, but that's just anything in life. You know, the fear of doing things sometimes outweighs our motivation to do them. So that's part of why this is called Motivational Munchies. So mix, mix, mix. And that can be very tiring. So, hands off. Mix, 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 like this. There's tons of things that you can substitute. Google is a really good thing for that. Like if you don't have something, you can ask, can you substitute something for it? You know, don't ever be intimidated in the kitchen. Don't overthink things. Baking, you have to be kind of precise with things, but I change up recipes all the time. I make variations on things all the time. It's just that the quantities of things have to be pretty much the same in baking. But with cooking, you can kind of play around with it. If you don't like a recipe, know not to add that to it. If you like something, change it up a little bit, make it a little different. Okay. And it's especially hard when you have like picky eaters like I do. So, now, what you do with, let's put this away, we're going to use strawberries in our next recipe as well. If you don't have a little processor that breaks up crumbs and all that for breadcrumbs and things like that for graham crackers, you just buy these little baggies. I thought I had bigger ones, but we buy baggies. And you take a roll or a pickle jar and you crush them up. Use a flat end. Crush them up. Careful not to use anything with a point on it because it will poke a hole in the bag and then you'll have a big mess and that's aggravating. when you're already trying to cook something or make something and then there's a giant mess, or you knock something over or whatever. And this, depending on the ages of your kids, they can do this with you too. Like it can be something that everybody does together. So it's pretty exciting. Well, fun, I guess would be the right word. So, I mean, unless you're like me, I can get excited about food. And then just roll it over top of it on the table. Just to make it, you like really, really want it fine for the top of them. Okay, now, I'm going to show you how to make something else from homemade. So if you don't have one already, you don't have to go out and buy it. Alright, so now, how do you get the cream cheese inside the strawberries? Like this. So if you don't want to go out and buy a piping bag, maybe you do a lot of cake decorating, I don't know, maybe you have one of them already, but most of us do not. So what you do is you take an old bread bag, this is a hot dog bun bag, and you clean it out, make sure you get all of the little crummy things out, shake it. I've already done this, so I did it over top of the garbage can when I did it. And then you open it up like this. It's usually a good idea to put a paper towel down in case you spill some. So just put it down. I want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing without my phone falling over. So you just take the ends of the bag and fold it outwards like this. So basically you're turning the bag inside out and then you're bringing it back down like this. Okay, so it looks kind of like this. And then you're going to take a spoon or whatever. You're going to make sure that the mouth of the bag is very open, and you're going to put the filling. I think that the hot dog or hamburger bun bags work better than bread bags because they're a little bit thicker and they stand up a little bit easier on end like this one is, so that you can make that hole so that it does pour inside pretty easy. And then you can reopen it again, no problem, like that. That's why I like hot dog buns for these, to make homemade piping bags. It's pretty easy. Alright. Very good. Okay, so what you do is then roll your bag up, get all of the air out of the bag, pick a corner, like one of the corners, it doesn't matter. Make sure all of the air is out of the bag. Twist the bag at the top. I tie it just to make sure because I have a tendency to be messy sometimes. So we're going to tie the bag like this. If it rips a little bit, it's okay. So we're going to tie it just to make sure it's a little bit extra secured. Now, you're going to take scissors, which I forgot to grab. So you're going to take scissors and you're just going to pinch the little end like this. Okay, the very end little tip. And you're going to cut just a little bitty piece off. I promise it will come out. Then you take one of the strawberries, and I think this one needs a little bit deeper, you can see. So you just cut a little bit more out just to make sure it's, you really want to be able to put the cheesecake inside the, kind of scoop it all the way down to the bottom. Okay? And then you're going to take your bag and you're going to, you see how it's going to come out, and you're going to just squeeze the cheesecake into the cheesecake mixture into the bag. If, like this one just now, it has a hole in it, that's not a big deal. You're just going to squeeze it and see where it comes out. This one has a hole in it that I was not aware of, and that's okay. Stuff happens. And see, that's what I mean. Like, when they do these videos, they pre-do them so many times that it looks like it's perfection and that nothing happens. And that's just not real life. Like, things mess up when we're trying to cook all the time. So, then we take our little bag of graham crackers and we sprinkle the top just like that. Okay. And we take our skewers just like this. I think these were $4 or something. And you can use these for multiple things. You can make like kebabs with meat and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go in through the top to the bottom, and you're going to twist it till it comes out the bottom just like this. Okay? Bring it back up just a little bit. Okay, and you're going to set it so that it's upright. And that one fell over, and that's okay. It's okay, I promise. Or what you can do is you can take it to the very bottom, and then you can use the little box from the cream cheese holder that the cream cheese came in, and you can set them up like that until you're ready to put them all on the stick at one time. Okay, you can just set them up, and then you can put them on the stick in a little bit. You can either pre-make a bunch and let them chill in the refrigerator, or if you want to hand do it, you can cut the bag open. Say you don't want to mess around with all the squeezing and all that stuff. You just cut the bag back open. Just like that. To make a little hole. Put the cream cheese mixture. It might be easier for you to do it this way. Just like you're filling up deviled eggs. You just fill up the strawberries. Top with the cinnamon. Over top of the little bag. And then you can set them up inside the little box or somewhere else. See, that makes a cute little holder. You can just set them up right like that. And then you can make as many as you want. Everybody loves cream cheese in my house. Cheesecake, everybody loves cheesecake in my house, rather. So you just do that, and then you put some more on top. So you keep filling them up just like this. Now, what we're going to do, you can do it just like this. Top them with the graham cracker crust, and that you have cheesecake filled little strawberries. And I set them up inside the cheesecake box until I'm ready to put them in the refrigerator. Now, something that I'm going to do, if you want to add something extra to it, say you want to, you want it to be a little bit more colorful. When you do the skewers, you can put like this. You can put strawberry, blueberry. These are already washed. I try to wash all of them as soon as I get home. And see, it's going to be a little messy, and that's okay. I wanted to just see that you can really do this. The easier way to do that is just set it down and poke it with the stick. Depending on and it kind of holds the strawberry in there a little bit better, I think. You move it off the stick, and then you go to another one. Pick it up out of the little holder. Since the blueberry fits tighter on the stick than the strawberry, because you gutted out the strawberry, the blueberries kind of hold it together a little bit more. And then you put another one on there like this, or you can do more than one. So you're basically making like little fruit kebabs. Put 3 blueberries if you want. You can also, if you want it to be like a little fruit, you can put pineapple on here. Whatever you want. So, and as you can see, like, I do have cream cheese all over me. I'm not well, I wouldn't say all over me, but on me. So I wanted to do this. I didn't want to keep re-recording this because I wanted you to see that you could really do this. You just move them up as you go. My hands are clean. I washed them before we started. Move it up. Then move up the strawberry. And then add a couple more blueberries. And then what you do, so it's just like this. The cream cheese, the cheesecake is inside the strawberries, and then the graham cracker topping you can always take and add a little bit more from the moving around. It kind of fell off and things like that. Now, how do you put these in the refrigerator? You take a pan, just a regular baking pan, and you're going to put it so that it's on an angle. So you're going to take the Cool Whip bowl and you're going to stand it up. That doesn't work, does it? So you're going to lay it down. It's not going to work. And you just lay it down on there, just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few more of these. Just fill it up. Graham cracker. You can also just put the blueberry directly on top of the, you know, like that. Just like that. If you want to, it doesn't matter. Wiggle it around to go through the strawberry. When I tried these before, I was able to set the Cool Whip, set it up on the Cool Whip container, but that is a different size. It was the larger one that I had all the way up. And then another strawberry. And then more blueberries. And like I said, you can do pineapple, you can do banana, you can do whatever it is that you want. So, like that. And then you just lay it up there and you chill them for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then you can enjoy, you can take them with you. They're good for picnics. They're good for, you can take them with dinner. You can lay them on top of, you know, you can lay the pineapple, like the pineapple rings, you can lay them down and then you can lay them inside of them. So it makes for a great little recipe, something that's very easy. I'm so glad that you were here today. If you got anything out of this, please comment below. Let me know in the comments below if you tried this recipe and it worked, or if you have an idea of your own. If you want to send in a recipe, I would be glad to try to make it. As always, I am Jen Cole and I approve this message. Thanks for stopping by. If you have not subscribed already, please hit the red subscribe below and make sure you don't miss anything. Thank you and have a fantastic day.